So thank you for joining me. First, we're going to start with lining our lips. So I'm doing this with the brown pencil in Gabriella. It's usually the same color I use to fill in my brows. I'm really using this color today because it matches well with my skin tone, and we're doing an everyday look. Next, I'm applying primer. I'm doing this with my normal primer, and I'm doing this with my diffuser brush. I love my diffuser brush. I'm also going to use this diffuser brush to put on my foundation, which is Black Radiance in color 8414 today. So apparently I just wanted to play in the foundation today, and I applied just a bit too much foundation for my skin. I'm going to use the diffuser brush to really blend that in, but it will take some time to dry. Right after drying, or almost right after drying, I'm actually going to use my other Gabriella pencil in brown, and I'm going to fill in my brows. If you notice, I'm using a mix between long and short strokes because I'm kind of rushed for time. It's an everyday look. And as you any type of like small details I can just kind of wipe away, and because my brows are thin this week, I can just kind of even them out and sculpt them and have a little bit more control over how they look. Now this look is a little bit extended, but I definitely want to brush the color through because I'm actually going to take my concealer. This is going to be LA Concealer in Espresso and Toffee mix, and I'm going to use that to define my brow. If you notice, I'm also using an angled brush, which just is easy and a lot of fun to use because you really can control the stroke and the height of the arch a lot better. Some people like to use smaller brushes. I like to use angle brushes. It really doesn't matter as long as you get the desired look. Now that I let the concealer sit for a second, I'm actually taking a blending brush that I've dipped in my Ruby Kisses foundation powder. The color is chestnut. I'm blending it down so I won't have that harsh, I just did my eyebrow sculpted look. I do kind of leave sometimes, like today I want to kind of look fresh a little bit, so I might leave just a little bit of edge, but normally and professionally it just looks better if you blend all of this out. Now I am applying pink all over the eye, or pink as we call it, all over the eye. I'm going to do that for both lids. I'm going to come back and in the mid-tone color, I'm going to use chocolate chip. And then for my defining color, which I'll actually just put in a angle shape, I will actually be using lava, which is a deep black. And those will be the colors that I use for my eyes. I'll also line my eyes with lava as well using a painter's brush, flat edge. Now, as you can see, I had to dip back in because I really want it to stand out. I don't want it to be too harsh. That's why I'm blending it into the chocolate and as well as the pink color, because I don't want it to be too harsh, but I definitely want it to define. So sometimes you got to bring that over to make it meet. And I'm doing that with the blending brush, just gradually putting it over until I get the desired look that I want. And then, of course, I'm just blending that into the colors that are already in place, which is that pink and then that mid-tone color chocolate chip, so that it's natural. Now, the last thing I have to do with the eyes, is to actually apply that, use that same brush and lava to the lower lid. But before I do that, I'm actually going to use the color that's been warming up on my hand, which of course is a toffee and espresso mix by LA Concealers. I'm using it for concealer, and I'm using that also, if you notice, to define my eye. Instead of using the tape like a lot of women do, or a lot of artists do rather, I find it easier just to actually just pay attention to my eye, and if I do make a mess up, just go back over with that straight edge brush and fill it that way. I normally don't, and so any of the color that I'm using, I'm actually using that to go down the center of my head and exactly wherever the light hits. So I'm also using this angled flat brush to make sure that it definitely stays in place, and it's going to be really good for sculpting and also helps me pack on the color. And helps define the highlighted areas. I'm still waiting on it to dry, but I can start taking a bit of the color off using my diffuser brush, mostly because I don't want to look like those people who have like the, well, that's not nice to say, but I definitely want it to look more natural, and using a golden tone really works well with my skin tone, but also to take off some of the highlights so it won't look like I necessarily have a bunch of makeup on my face. So I just take the diffuser brush and I blend it down, and next what I'll be doing is I'll be using my Ruby Kisses foundation in a skin tone that's maybe 2 shades lighter than my own skin tone. The color for that will be in the description box. And I actually just use that to set it. If you notice, I just kind of took the edge off first. And then once I do that, I'm going to let it set some more. And then I'm going to actually define or contour in chocolate using an angled brush as well around it. And I'll be using the 3 shade. Now, because I'm a huge fan of blush, I like Patrick Star. I got the tip from Patrick Star. Love to use this fan for contouring. It is great for under the cheeks and under the chin as well. However, around the sides of this nose, like, oh my goodness, using chocolate there just is like, it's perfect. When I really want to get in there and define it, I'm using chocolate chip for that. And of course, as I told you before, to define the rest, I'm going to use a angled brush. Oh, but not before I trim the last 3 lashes off of my lash and put that on top using Ardell lashes. This is 747 medium. If you notice, I'm actually kind of patting and then blending the color contouring, because of course it's a contour color and it's a powder. It can tend to go on as like a deeper color, and we definitely don't want that. But while I wait on all these colors to set, I'm going right back in with Mars, which is a hot red blush, and I'm putting that right on top of my contour. When I take my diffuser brush and blend it all together, you will see how it just warms up my face and everything just goes together warm and natural. I have no idea what color lipstick I'm using. But I do know it only costs me $1 if I'm using it, and it's not a Lush and Verdant product. And it's not a Lush and Verdant product from what I'm seeing. But it was cheap, so it's probably e.l.f. or not. But just look for a nudie pink color. It's just something, the first thing I could grab, and I'm actually, as I told you before, in kind of a hurry. So now I'm using my diffuser brush, and I'm just putting just a light bit of Golden Girl in deep after I apply this lash, and that's a bronzer. And I'm just going to lightly tip that into the brush and then blend the entire face together. After I get this other lash on it, that is. Now here I am applying that black liner, and if you notice, I'm just going right there at the waterline, and just actually just dabbing it and dabbing the color through, and I'm making sure not to get it in my eye, but at the rim of my eye. You'll see how it definitely defines my eye and brings out my lashes by doing so. If I wanted an extra sparkle of gram, I would also add that pink color underneath that color, or even that chocolate color. That would really work out really well. But as you can tell, I'm just going to go with that simple glow and Golden Girl in deep, or dark, as I like to say. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the description box, and have a lush and verdant day.